That's why I hate it when you force me to do everything that's such a hassle. If you're not going to be cooperative, you should be the one to take care of your mother.
Just shut up and take care of her. If you don't like it, and if you're going to refuse, we'll get a divorce.
These words completely severed the relationship between my husband Lars and I, in which our relationship has been on thin ice. I can't be with this man anymore. Fine, I understand. Then let's just get a divorce.
Excuse me? Wait, what are you talking about? When you have no money, no job, and no house, you're asking for divorce?
Oh, don't you worry about me. I'll go get the divorce papers as soon as I can.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't be serious, right?
My name is Megan. I am 32 years old, and I am a housewife. I have been married to my husband, Lars, for 4 years now. We were originally colleagues working for the same company, but when we got married, I left the company to become a full-time housewife. My parents divorced when I was very young, and my mother took custody of me and raised me as a single mother. But my husband did not care about that at all, and took very good care of me. My husband was 2 years older than me and was working in the upper management, so his salary was stable. I think we had a really nice honeymoon when we first got married. I had always had a strong desire to get married, and since my parents were divorced, I longed to be in a normal married life. Maybe that's why I became a full-time housewife. I concentrated on house chores and supporting my husband, who earned money and provided for the family, and I thought that was my happiness. Although my husband was sometimes a bit of a bossy husband, I was happy in my own way. Recently, however, my husband started talking about something really surprising.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Oh, what's wrong?
My mother wants to live with us.
What?
It's been 2 years since my father passed away, right? It's getting hard for her to live alone. My mother is 65 years old now, and she has some chronic illnesses. That's why I'd like to take care of her.
I was surprised at this unexpected proposal. My mother-in-law, Debbie, who has been living alone since my father-in-law passed away, says she wanted to live together with us.
You know my mother is getting weak in the legs. Always being home alone is inconvenient, and it makes me a little anxious about many things.
Apparently, my husband wants to live with his mother too. I knew about her chronic illness, and I was concerned about her, but I had no idea that she would actually suggest to move in with us. I had my doubts, but my husband has strongly requested it many times, so I decided to welcome Debbie into our house. When we decided to move in together, my mother-in-law sold the house she had been living in and came to the apartment where we were living, as if she had been preparing for the move. This is how my life with Debbie began. I did not have a bad impression of Debbie. I did not visit her at her place often, but she was kind to me when I went to visit her during Thanksgivings and New Year's holidays. So I thought there would be no problem if I started living with her. However, when it came time to move in together, Debbie began to show her true nature, which she had never shown before. "Megan, can you lend me some money?" "Huh? Why?" "I'm going out to the cafe with a friend. I don't have a job, so I don't have enough money at the moment, you know." "But you do get pension, right? Besides, you have your husband's inheritance and money from selling your house that you had, don't you?" "I beg your pardon? What, are you implying that I shouldn't go out and see my friends?" "No, it's not like that. But the bag that you wanted the other day, we just paid for it out of our expenses, didn't we?" "Ah, how stingy are you? It's fine to at least pay for the cafe. I'm going to tell Lars about this. You're a housewife in the first place, so it's Lars who's actually paying for it anyways." "That's true. But my husband entrusted me to manage the family finances. So if I don't do my best, our life will eventually become difficult because of Debbie's habit of spending money. And since your legs are getting weaker, I think it would be better if you didn't go out so much. You're always making excuses, huh? You really are an inflexible woman. Saying this, Debbie angrily went back to her room. No matter how angry my mother-in-law may be with me, this thing is non-negotiable. But it looks like Debbie convinced my husband.
Hey, Megan, what did you say to my mother?
Huh?
I heard from my mother that you were trying to forbid her from going out with her friends and lock her up in this house.
What the? I didn't do that. Debbie didn't even give me back the money for the bag the other day, but she asked me to lend me her money for going to cafe with her friends, so I refused.
Huh? Why did you even refuse her request without telling me? I'm the one who earns money here, so I decide how to spend my money. You could at least hand her the money for cafe.
Fine. To this, Debbie grinned and said to me, "See, I told you. It's Lars who's paying for it." Well then, give me $50. Excuse me? $50 for the cafe? Well, you don't know how much it costs, do you? So if that's the case, it's normal to bring money just in case. Yes, but...
Just give her $50. God, I really didn't think that you were such a difficult wife.
Huh? So it's all my fault then? Lars spoils his own mother too much. Wow, Lars, you must be having a really difficult time. All right, I'll step up here and educate Megan about being a wife. What?
Mother, really? That would be great.
It's for you, Lars. Of course I do that. Who do they think they are? I came to know not only Debbie's true nature, but also that my husband was a mama's boy. Having received permission from my husband, Debbie got carried away and began to behave more and more terrible towards me. She complained that my cooking was bad and tasteless. She complained that the vacuum cleaner was too noisy. She complained about the timing of my laundry, and she complained about my house chores. I am sure she doesn't like anything I do. Furthermore, it seems to feel like she is always acting like the guest of the house and never helps me with the house chores. I would have appreciated if she would do things like hang the laundry or wash the dishes, but no matter how much I asked her to do so, she always insists, "Don't abuse an old person like me who has chronic illnesses." No matter how much I tried to talk to her, she would eventually ask my husband for help and treat me like I was the bad guy. In the end, my husband gets angry with me and I end up feeling terrible. I guess this is exactly what being bullied by a mother-in-law must mean. Debbie's attitude is as bad as ever, and my husband takes Debbie's comments to heart and treats me like I'm a bad wife.
If you annoy my mother too much, I'll kick you out of the house.
He would even say such things like that. Debbie always smiles when she sees me getting yelled at by my husband. What in the world have I done? If I had been mean to Debbie, I would understand. But I do my house chores, manage the finances, feed my husband and mother-in-law well-balanced meals, and treat them normally. And yet, I can't stand the fact that they are so mean to me just because I am Debbie's daughter-in-law. I found myself in this situation for about 6 months. The stress from Debbie bullying me built up, and I finally developed a stomach ulcer. Initially, I was treated at a local clinic, but I needed to be hospitalized and was referred to a large hospital in town, where I was admitted. When my mom found out that I was hospitalized, she came to visit me every day, even though she lived far away from the hospital. As a result of the days I spent not feeling alive, I got sick and had to be hospitalized. I was quite depressed, but my mother's daily visits helped to heal my heart little by little. On the other hand, my husband and Debbie did not come to visit me. I ended up being in the hospital for 2 months, and during that time they came to visit me only once. When I told them how long I was going to be in the hospital, my husband said,
"What? You won't be home for that long? Wow, you really are useless, huh?"
And Debbie would also say, "You don't have the guts. I'm in much worse shape than you." What do these people think I am? When my mother came to visit me afterwards, they would quickly leave. Seeing them leave without saying any proper greeting, I was disappointed not only in Debbie, but also in my husband. Just the thought of having to live with those people again after leaving the hospital was horrifying. Perhaps the reason I was in the hospital for so long was because I was thinking about that. Later, I was finally discharged from the hospital. When I called my husband, he said he understood and came to pick me up by car. I was thinking that he still had this kindness in him, and when he saw me as he picked me up, he said,
"It was really difficult while you were gone, you know."
When I asked him what he meant, he said that even in front of my husband, Debbie made him do everything, saying things like, "I can't cook today because my leg hurts," or "I need to take a break, so do the cleaning and laundry." So Lars had to do the house chores after work and on his days off, which was really hard for him because he didn't have time to rest. I was a little happy. My husband understood the hardships of doing house chores and dealing with Debbie. This would stop him from taking Debbie's side in everything, and he would listen to me. And my husband was actually kind to me even after I returned home. Whenever Debbie says something unreasonable, he would warn her, saying,
"Mom, don't talk like that."
Debbie looked frustrated and reluctantly did as my husband said. It was really hard for me when I had to be hospitalized because I felt I had reached my limit in terms of being treated like that by Debbie, but I am glad that things have changed in this way. I wish my husband would have changed without me having to be hospitalized, though. But then, the situation changed again. On the way home from a tea party with her friends, Debbie fell off the stairs at the train station and injured herself. Unfortunately, the injury itself was not so serious, but as a result, the chronic illness she had in her leg worsened, and she became unable to live her daily life easily as before. The doctor told her that she would require long-term care. Debbie was going to be hospitalized for the time being, and when Lars returned home, he wanted to discuss the future with me. At that time, I thought that my husband would cooperate with me and take care of Debbie together. But what my husband would say was unbelievable and not so nice.
"I'll leave it to you to look after my mother."
Excuse me?
"You're the one who stays at home during the day all the time, and it would be better if a woman did it, wouldn't it?"
Now, wait a minute. Why is it decided that I would be the only one looking after her? You should be the one taking care of her at night or on your days off.
"I'll be tired and exhausted from working. I'm too tired to take care of her after work, and I need to recover my strength on my days off. That's why you should be the one to do it, because you're the one who stays at home all the time, right?"
I was just really disappointed. Nothing has changed. He throws all the troubles to me. He would rather not take care of Debbie at all because of the mess he had to go through while I was in the hospital.
"I'm counting on you to take care of my mother."
My husband tries to end the conversation by saying that. No, I can't lose here like that. If you're forcing me into this like that, I won't take care of her.
"Huh? What the hell are you saying?"
Lars sounded irritated from what I said.
"Don't be so selfish. Who do you think you owe your life to?"
That's why I hate it when you force me to do everything that's such a hassle. If you're not going to be cooperative, you should be the one to take care of your mother. When I argued in this way, my husband said something outrageous.
"Just shut up and take care of her. If you don't like it, and if you're going to refuse, we'll get a divorce."
These words completely severed the relationship between my husband and I, in which our relationship has been on thin ice. I can't be with this man anymore. Fine, I understand. Then let's just get a divorce.
"Excuse me? Wait, what are you talking about? When you have no money, no job, and no house, You're asking for divorce? Even if we get a divorce, you really won't have any bright future ahead of you. There is no way that we should get divorced.
It seems that my husband has suggested the divorce upon me as a threat. But to me, it was no longer a threat. It had become just a talk of separation. Oh, don't you worry about me. I'll go get the divorce papers as soon as I can.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't be serious, right?
My husband was obviously upset, but I guess he didn't want to lose and show how upset he was. He fidgeted and just watched silently as I prepared to leave. I was on my way to the town hall when I called someone. Oh, hello. Sorry to call you so suddenly. Can I take you up on the talk that we had before? Yeah, I couldn't take it anymore. I'm even heading over to the town hall right now. Really? Thanks. Well then, see you soon. After that, I went home with the divorce papers. When I entered the living room, my husband still looked upset, and he was just looking over at me and didn't move. Here are the divorce papers. Just sign these.
Are you sure about this?
What? So you had no intention of getting a divorce, but you say things like we get a divorce? You're so lame and stupid. When I provoked him, my husband's face turned red, and he got angry.
Fine. If you're fine with it, then sure. Let's just get on with it. I thought I could reconsider about divorce, but we're done for. I'm divorcing you.
Whatever. Just shut up and sign here. I urged my husband, who was being reluctant on signing the papers and not holding a pen. He sat down on a chair loudly and signed the divorce papers.
There, you sure about this, huh?
I ignored these words and signed my part. Okay, well then, I'll submit the papers. Then I started packing up my stuff. While I was packing up my stuff, my husband was there just fidgeting around, not knowing what to do. I guess he wants me to stop the divorce. But I've reached my limit. I packed my things without worrying about my husband and loaded them into my mother's car, which arrived a few minutes later. Well, good luck taking care of Debbie. I said this to my husband for the last time and left the house. My husband seemed to want to say something. I laughed in the elevator, remembering my husband's facial expression, which was in a shock. I immediately filed the divorce papers, and my divorce from my husband was successfully finalized. Then, about 2 months later, I received a phone call from an unknown number. I thought it might be a work-related call, so I answered anyway. What the heck do you want from me?
Hey, Megan, when will you come back here?
Huh? What the heck are you saying? We got divorced, you know. And now we're strangers, you know.
Oh, don't say that, and please, just come back. You've been a full-time housewife when you were with me, so you're only working part-time jobs, right? Even if your mother lived with you, it would be hard for you to make ends meet, even if you both worked part-time jobs, since it's just you and your mother.
I mean, you shouldn't even be worrying about me like that since we're divorced.
Please, Megan, please, come back. Not only am I taking care of my mother with her leg injury, but she's also got dementia, and she's throwing tantrums all the time, and the house is a mess. Let's start over with our married life like the old days, where I earned a decent amount and you take care of the house.
I couldn't help but laugh. You just want to have it easy for yourself, huh? I'm sorry to say this, but I'm working hard at my friend's company as a full-time employee at the moment.
What?
My friend knew about my Spanish skills, and now I'm in charge of dealing with an overseas Spanish company. So the salary is pretty good. If your salary hasn't changed, I probably earn more than you now.
No way.
So I'm not in need of a place to live, money, job, or anything else. In fact, I'm super happy to be free from you and Debbie. So don't contact me anymore. If you try to contact me, even if I change my number, I will call the police immediately.
Oh, hey, wait.
Before my husband could say anything, I hung up the phone. I heard from a former colleague of mine who still works at the same place as my ex-husband that my ex-husband was demoted because he couldn't rest his body and mind at home because of taking care of Debbie and kept making mistakes at work. However, the cost of caring for Debbie is very expensive, so he is still in a difficult situation, and his income has been reduced, which makes it even more difficult. Well, he got what he deserved. On the other hand, I have steadily built up my career, and my income has increased. I am now living a comfortable life in a slightly more expensive apartment. It's amazing how much bullying can end you up with a stomach ulcer. And even though Lars experienced it once and learned how hard it is to take care of the house chores and his mother, he is just the worst for trying to force everything onto Megan. I can only say that he deserved to be abandoned by Megan in the end, and all the burden came to him. I hope that Megan will continue to work hard at her job, while also fulfilling her private life. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. See you in our next video.